Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching me today. And today is Friday, the 21st of January. Let me check my Facebook because I'm not going live on YouTube for some reason. Little technical difficulty. And there I am, live on Facebook. So today, our topic is how to explain price versus value and the question of overpaying. So I'm going to start with a disclaimer. I love my disclaimers. My disclaimers are this. This is my opinion. This is my experience. This is what I tell our agents and I get the conversations with agents daily with people, a lot of real estate, especially in this market with buyers and sellers, is negotiations, value what is value, what is price, what is my home worth, am I overpaying, is someone else overpaying? We come across this a lot right now in our market. So I'm going to give you some ideas to think about. I'll try to keep this just to a few minutes, but I'll probably go longer because this could go on forever. And this is a disclaimer of, again, my opinion and what I say, because there's up for debate on how to handle and what things to say to people. And also, it's situational. It's per person of what's going on right now. Well, so let's start with buyers. Buyers that say, am I overpaying for this house? So the first thing I say to our agents when dealing with someone that says, am I overpaying for this house? And I can show you the market. I'll show you what's for sale, what is sold per square foot, per bedrooms, bathrooms, style of home. And it all depends upon the market. You, as an agent, do not dictate price. That's your opinion of what you think, of what the market is willing to pay for a house. Right now is price. That's, to me, what price can I sell my house for? The market determines that. How many buyers are out there? Now, the value, it determines the value to someone else. That's why we see these crazy offers on houses. The value to that person that overbid everybody else, the value of that house is worth something else, if you could follow me. So they want that house. They want to be in that neighborhood. And with all my experience, and again, I'll try to keep this short. I'm going to take some tangents here, so follow me with this. For some reason, in our society or in our area, if you want to say in real estate, we're always programmed, buy a house at a value here, and it's always going to go up in value. Obviously, example, the prices are different per area. If you're maybe closer to the main city, it's more. Taxes, school systems. Right now, like you in Ohio, and you buy a house that is per square foot, I'm just throwing out there, $125 a square foot, $150 a square foot. If it's 1,000 square foot house and you're paying $100,000 for it, $150,000 for it, you think it might be a decent value, it might be different value, but in certain parts of the country, they're paying over $1,000 a square foot. With someone in Ohio, is there anywhere in Ohio that you're going to pay over $1,000 a square foot? Which means if you buy a 1,000 square foot house or condo, you're going to pay $1 million for that place. Would you? No. In Ohio, as agents, we wouldn't recommend that. But certain parts of the country, 1,000 square foot is a deal. New York, California, certain parts of Florida, Texas, $1,000 a square foot. So the value of the house there to people is more than the value of the house here. To the people, they will pay that in that area because they want to be in New York. They want to be in California. And when people move here from out of the area, and especially from those areas, they can't believe. They're like, wow, you know, for $2 million, I got this 2,000 square foot, 3 bedroom, 2 bath place. And for $2 million in Ohio, I could have land and that, and I could have space, and sky's the limit with $2 million. So the point I'm making is that you have to think that way with your clients, is that when you're buying a house and they ask you, what's the price? What's the value to you? What's the value to you if you don't want to lose this house? Because the next step to that conversation is, when are you going to sell? Because the value of your house, what you buy it for today, does not matter until you sell it. So if you're selling 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we can't tell you what the market's going to be like. Agents that you haven't been in the business more than 13 years. Any agent that has not been in the business for 12 or 13 years minimum never had the opportunity, I don't know if you use that word opportunity, to explain to a seller that, I'm sorry, you bought this house 10 years ago and it's worth a lot less today than it was 10 years ago. That was back in 2008, 2009. We had to make those agents, they were active by we had clients coming to us in dire straits because of their finances, lost jobs, the economy. Please sell my house. Your house is not worth it. We had clients tell us with agents, and I was helping them through this phase of, like, you told me this house when I bought it 5 years ago was worth this, and now it's worth less. Why did you advise me of this? It's just like being a stockbroker. We have no idea which way the stock is going, but we had to have those tough conversations. So the next point to this conversation is having that experience, explaining to a buyer, am I overpaying for this house? Well, how bad do you want it? How much do you want your payment to be? I've been in the business 30 years. There was times in real estate, and there's people selling right now. They had no idea their house would be worth this much, that they bought it 5 years ago. So we can't tell. If you say, this is my house I'm going to die in, hopefully, God willing, decades from now, it does not matter. To me, my opinion, disclaimer, doesn't matter within reason that you buy this house this way, because we have no idea 20 years from now, 30 years from now, what the house will be worth, and if you overpaid, underpaid on that. But also, to our buyers, we explain to them is that, listen, we put an offer on a house, and you're getting a mortgage on it, there's going to be a checks and balances. The mortgage company is going to have an appraisal on that house, and then they are going to tell you what their value and price should be of that house today based on what's sold. They're not looking at the future, they're based on what's sold on that. And then, as long as, again, whole different categories, as long as you don't put in there appraisal gap coverage, you'll pay if the appraisal comes in lower. It doesn't matter what the appraisal comes in at. If you don't put any of that verbiage in there, you have that safety net as a buyer, that if the appraisal comes in lower, it's time to renegotiate. It's either renegotiate or get out of the transaction. So when you have those buyers, as long as this listing agent and you don't have to negotiate some type of appraisal gap, that if the appraisal $150,000 house and the appraisal comes in $140,000, the buyer will cover that difference. Then you're kind of safe as a buyer. Also, keep this short, listing agents. You have to put in there, I see this happening all the time, buyers are putting in there without checking with their loan officer. Example, this happens every month. $150,000. $150,000, and the buyer says, I will go, if the appraisal comes in $10,000 less, I will come up with the extra money. I will still get the house, don't worry. The listing agent doesn't write in the contract that they must have a letter from their lender saying it's okay to do that, and financially they can do that. and all of a sudden they write that in there, then the lender goes, what? You didn't call me first. Well, I'll find the money. Friends are going to give it to me. I'll take it out of my credit card, whatever. They go, you can't do that. And now their loan's denied. And then we got a listing agent and a seller mad, said, you promised. Yes, but now I can't get a loan and we're stuck. Doesn't matter what the buyer puts on paper. So listing agents, clue. When you do an appraisal gap, make sure you write in there, my opinion, disclaimer, that you write in there, that it's contingent on a letter from your lender that they can buy this house still financially and get their loan with appraisal gap. That's the big thing that's happening right now, and the glitch in that clause. So the point of that is value versus price, future, what people want it. And again, we've, as agents, all of us out there, most of us out there that have had buyers lose out on deals because someone outbid them, it's hard because that person wanted it more than that. You know what I mean? So, and then also, I like to explain to buyers, sometimes if they keep on asking, I said, listen, every day we buy things automatically just for value, not price. Example, buying a car. My opinion, no car today is worth that much money. It's not. Why do we buy cars? Because we like them. It has a value to us. We're buying something that immediately, when we step into the car, it lowers its value immediately. And you're not going to get, it doesn't increase in value. But why we buy different cars? Why we pay $75,000, $100,000, crazy, even more for a car compared to $20,000 or $15,000 or whatever, because the value's there. We want that nicer car. So if you have that kind of conversation, mental negotiation skills with a buyer, because someone wants to drive that nicer car, but they're not buying it for an investment. It's going to go down in value. So again, Mr. Mrs. Buyer, or Mr. Buyer, Miss Buyer, how much are you willing to pay for this? Your payment. What's the cost? Again, we have people coming in from out of town or out of country coming to buy properties here, and they're going, I'll pay crazy amount of money for this house because where I come from, the value here is a lot more than over there. So I'll pay, so again, $500,000 house, that they sold a house that was smaller than that at $1.5 million. They'll pay $700,000 for a $500,000 house because the value's there. So we see crazy stuff like this happening in real estate right now. So the main point of this is that you have to have a conversation with your buyers. What's to them, how stuck are they on price of what they see it for? Because I know there's buyers out there. If a house goes on the market, I'm sticking with the $150,000 example, if it was $150 and they go, I'm not paying more than $155. Never, I'm not going to do it. But if that property came on the market for $170, they'll pay. I'll pay $170, just because they think the value, because they see the sticker. They don't want to pay over sticker. So if the sticker started higher, they would have paid for it. You get those people? I know you do. It's frustrating in real estate. I'm like, you just see what they're asking. That's like a starting bid in this bid. And I've had agents explain, this is like an auction. That's like the starting bid. Because this property could go for $200, it's listed for $150. It's not, well, I just want to get it just enough. I don't want to overpay. What's overpaying? That's the whole conversation with that. Now, sellers, pet peeve, disclaimer, this is my opinion. When they put a house for sale for $150,000, the first day they get an offer, $155,000, done, sell it. I'm like, we don't know. Why in one day are you selling for $155,000? Well, I'm getting over asking price. If someone's willing to pay $155,000 for your house in less than a day, less than 24 hours on the market, there might be another buyer out there that will pay more because it's more value to them. You got to give it time to get it's like, again, an auction. Tell sellers, keep it on the market a week. Keep it on the market. Those buyers are not going anywhere. I know these buyers agents are out there. This offer's only good till 5 o'clock tonight, or I'm not buying the house. Good. I'll get the next one that says my offer is open. They just that fear of loss. They like to put that fear and loss in there. I just tell agents, just don't even deal with that person. Wait. They'll be there tomorrow if they really want the house. They'll be there the next day. I know it's the debate of, should we tell everybody we're in a multiple offer or we're not? Because legally, again, totally different video. You do not have to let other people know you're in a multiple offer. You do not have to do that. You can bring in multiple offers and don't have to tell anybody. I think you should, so that gets people to bring their highest and best, especially in this market. There's not another house. There's not 10 other houses. This, to me, again, my opinion is, when it's a market, when there's 10 houses in a neighborhood that are very similar, just thrown out there, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath bungalows that are built in the same year, just different paint inside, and there's 10 of them for sale. Yes, telling people you're in a multiple offer, they're just, I'll just go buy the other one on the other street. But it all depends upon how many houses are like that house in that area, in that city, school district, that are competitors with your listing. So you have to take in a lot of different factors to that. So, and a lot of agents that might be watching this know I've done that and had that conversation with them and analyzed their listings, analyze the market, and try to do what's best for our sellers. But again, explaining to a seller that just because someone came in higher within 24 hours, we don't know that there might be someone else that puts a higher value on their house. Maybe next door is their parents, and they want to be close to their parents. Maybe they want to get in that school system. Maybe they're coming in from out of town, and this house, it would be double the value somewhere else, and they're like, I'll pay a lot more for this house. Whatever reason, and you never know when you sell it so fast. When I see those 1 day on the market things, I just like, why would you do that? It's kind of like selling to the first customer that walks in the door, and if someone wants it right away and gives you a higher value, there might be more, there should be more to that. So, but the bottom line to all of this, it's all situational. People, value, price, their finances, their needs, their wants, the competition, what other houses are for sale, what's sold, the future, what's happening in, what you might be able to paint a picture of what's happening in the city or area. It's up and coming, there's more builds. And one last example. If someone is buying, there's a development, they're putting in 100 houses, and you're buying one of the first couple houses in that development, and someone says, yeah, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to buy this house, and my first time home, and I just got a new job, and I might be selling in a couple of years. I might be looking for something new. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I just tell people, you're buying a brand new house, you're building a brand new house in a new development. So my experience, my expertise in seeing this happen many times, until that there's no more building left, your value is going to go down the minute you buy it. The minute you walk into that brand new house, the value goes down. And people are like, why? It's like buying a car. Why? Because when someone walks in there and wants to buy your house, unless they need it now, they can't wait a little longer, they're just going to build exactly what they want for the same price you built it for. Different cabinets, different paint color, different carpet color. Why would, unless they have to buy now and move, someone has the time, they're going to go. So if you bought a house, built it for, say, $400,000, no one's going to pay $400,000 exactly what you bought it for if they could build right next to you for $400,000, the same price. So, and then if you sell the property, you have to pay commissions and closing costs. You lose money. So buying a house or building a house in a development that's going to have more in there and you think you're going to get in and out of there in a couple years, maybe, is a bad investment. Someone builds a house and say, I'm going to live here for a long, long, long time. Great, good. You might actually got in early because maybe we don't know for sure, but maybe this will be an up and coming area, and then all of a sudden people are trying to get in there. And then all of a sudden the builder is making more money and raising the prices. Very rarely happens because people want to come in there and there's limited inventory, and then they're selling all the lots and there's things happening quickly. So that could happen too. But again, it's all situational, but I wanted to give you an idea of situations where buying a house, as soon as you walk in, lowers value right away. That could happen. And I see it. There's so many agents that have been in the business less than 13 years or 12 years that never had to have their buyer or the sellers come back after buying from them and go, it's not worth what you bought it for 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And I have a feeling that's definitely going to happen. It's going to happen. Again, my opinion, don't have a crystal ball. It's going to happen to some of our sellers that were buyers this year that are looking to sell 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, and the interest rates go up. Economy might not be where it has jobs in the area. Inventory, all of a sudden it's a buyer's market. There's too much inventory, and they're like, you told me this house was worth $250,000 4 years ago. Well, today, because the interest rates are higher and the payment on the mortgage would be higher on the house, and the way the economy is, and all of those combined, and then there's more. When you bought it, there was only 3 houses like it in the city. Now there's 40 houses for sale. There was a market at one time. I would say people, let me just throw out there, like Mayfield Heights. So like I'm looking between 100 and 125. Well, there's 70 houses for sale between 100 and 125. We have to narrow it down. Yes, there's markets like that, and there will be in the future. And that's when the prices go down because it's a buyer's market. It will happen. So, sorry I went off on tangents there. Had to get that out there. But please use me as a resource. The point of that is call me, text me, email me. We'll set up the time and we'll go over. We'll dice this up in all aspects of what the buyer wants, what the seller wants, what their needs, what their would put value on, the competition in the market, how many houses are for sale, what they sold for, and we'll paint a picture for them of what we think is best for them and see if they agree with that on that, and not really stuck on what they see on paper. So that's it. I hope everybody's doing well on this Friday. Have a great Friday, a weekend, and we'll be back on Monday. Have a good day and a good weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.